Good morning. Welcome to the Division webinar on ICT. I am Anne-Michelle S. Medina, the ICT Coordinator of Tagumpay National High School. Today, I will explain to you the 3 types of interactions. In this session, we have the following objectives. First, we need to understand what is interaction in distance learning. Second, we will illustrate the 3 types of interactions. Third, we will examine the impact of interaction to learning using Anderson's interaction equivalency theorem. For this topic, allow me to share to you what I experienced last June. Last June, may isang public high school with 330 teachers who invited me to speak and give a discussion about how to prepare teaching and learning materials online. So eventually, other public high schools also invited me to talk about the same topic. So ito pong 6 na public high schools na nag-invite sa akin, ay kinode ko into letters A, B, C, D, E, and F. So yung first po, they have 330 teachers. The second one, they have 233 teachers. The third one, 158 teachers, 92 for the fourth, and then 93 para po dun sa ikalima, and 105 naman po para dun sa huli. So, itong mga teachers po na ito, ang age nila ay nagba-vary from youngest, 24 years old, to 60 years old. So, this is the teacher's profile. Prior po dun sa aking talk, because I do not know who these teachers are, I gave a survey just to know kung meron ba silang experience about online teaching and about online learning. So, si school letter A, ayan po yung date kung kailan po ako nagbigay ng talk sa kanila, 51 among the teachers out of 330 have online teaching experience, while 279 says no, wala silang experience magturo online. So, dun sa pangalawa naman po, meron silang 52 na marunong or naka-experience, and then 181 ang wala. Sa third, with 158 teachers, 35 lang yung meron, and then 123 yung wala. Then dun sa fourth, which is meron silang 92 teachers, ay may 39 na marunong or naka-experience ng online teaching, and 53 naman yung wala. Dun sa fifth, 20 yung may experience online, and 73 yung wala. Dun sa anim o ika-anim, 9 yung merong experience and 96 yung wala. And then, because ngayong nag-lockdown, dumami yung webinars, dumami po yung mga online trainings. So, dun po sa unang public high school, out of 330 ay merong 199 na nagsabi na marunong sila or natuto silang mag-attend ng webinar at natututo po sila. And then there are 136 doon naman po sa pangalawa. 98 naman ang teachers na nagsabi na meron silang experience with sa online, na natututo sila sa online. So 98 yung meron, and then 63 for the fourth, and then 41 for the fifth school, and then 52 naman po for the sixth school. So these teachers, according kay DepEd, are all lifelong learners. Okay. In Tagumpay, we have designed our inset or in-service training to assist our teachers using this format for this particular inset only. So we followed knowledge, skills, and attitude po yung ating format na sinusunod. For the knowledge, we have the self-paced, no? Dito sa self-paced, ayan po yung tinatawag nating asynchronous, we use Google Classroom for this purpose. Sa pangalawa naman po, in skills development, ito po yung ating virtual face-to-face. Doon sa mga schools na nag-invite sa akin at sa ICT team ng Tagumpay, gumamit po kami ng Google Meet or Zoom. And on the third, students have their learner-centered activity. They were given a learner-centered activity. So, in a synchronous form, of course, dahil kung anong oras nila gusto, gawin yon, anong araw, anong panahon sila libre, pwede po. So, that's how we designed our inset program. Okay, as to why we used Google Classroom for this purpose, for the self-paced asynchronous learning, it is because wala pa naman sa kanilang gaanong nakakaintindi based on the statistics that I showed you. Wala pa naman gaano sa kanilang nakakaintindi ng concept. And 330 ay masyadong malaki para sa akin because I do not know them yet. So, bakit Google Classroom yung ating napili? The reason for this is that Google Classroom is accessible using any browser. Kunyari, gumagamit kayo ng Firefox, Chrome, Microsoft Edge, or kung ano pa po yung browser na kayo po ay maalam or magaling, yun po yung pwede ninyong gamitin para i-access yung Google Classroom. So, you can use it or you can access it using a laptop or your personal computer. And then the second reason is because this application or the Google Classroom application is downloadable and compatible to almost any smartphone or even iOS phone for convenient learning. Kasi mas madaling-dalin yung cellphone, maliit lang, kaya nating ilagay sa bulsa. And then third, it allows embedding of files from the Google Drive. Pwede tayong, pag nagbibigay ng assignment, pwede kang pwede mong i-embed or pwede nating ilagay, galing ang file o ang file na galing sa Google Drive. And then we can also integrate other learning object using a link for quiz or a self-made video. Okay, just like this one. We can also add any other attachment as an uploaded file, and we can also incorporate a YouTube video. Okay. Another reason is that DepEd email is common to all teachers. Lahat po tayo meron yan. So because of the G Suite, because we are subscribed to G Suite. Hence, enrolling a student or a student teacher can easily join the session or the class. A student can enter the class using the provided code. And then last, it also allows us to use the different applications such as Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides for an assignment, activity, and or posting of materials. To understand interaction in distance learning, we need to know what, and the why. First, we have to define what distance education is. Okay, according to Verduin and Clark in 1991, distance education is any formal approach to learning in which a majority of the instruction occurs while educator and learner at a distance from one another. So, ibig sabihin daw po nagkakaroon ng pag-aaral, no, kahit na ang teacher at ang learner ay magkalayo. And then, according to DepEd CALABARZON, ito po yung ating Regional Memorandum number 10, Series 2020, no, under the Learning Delivery Number 41. Okay. According to this memorandum, distance learning is a formalized learning modality which is carried out remotely using electronic means. In this context, learners work online and or offline at home, while the teacher provides learning tasks which may be delivered online or offline. In person, interaction between teacher and learners may not be possible at all times, but may be carried out in various digital means. So, ang sinasabi lang din po dito ay kagaya po ng definition na binigay ni Verduin at Clark noong 1991. Tignan po natin yan sa susunod na slide. Okay, ito po ako, no? Kung makikita po ninyo, we're connected by Google Classroom. So, sa side ko, it is a teaching at my convenience regardless of time and space. Kasi kahit po nasaan ako or kung ano po yung ginagawa ko sa loob ng bahay, for example, I can monitor kung ano po yung nangyayari doon sa class, kung sino-sino mga estudyanteng nagpa-participate, kung ano na po yung mga activity na kanilang ginagawa. So, ibig sabihin, kung merong 330 na estudyante, given the time, no? Hindi ako nag-delegate or hindi ako nagbigay ng specific time. For example, 8 o'clock to 5, ganito nyo siya aaralin. So, binigyan ko ng freedom ang estudyante na mag-aral dun sa module or dun sa lessons na ibinigay ko at ipinasa ko sa kanila. Napakahirap kasi bilang teacher na magtuturo ka na isang teaching and learning materials online na hindi naman nila naiintindihan ano ba yung konsepto ng distance learning. So, doon, yung mga ibang terminologies, ibang mga situational or case study na kinakailangan ko pang i-explain ay ibinigay ko na doon. So, teachers can learn, teachers can read in advance, teachers can do the activity that I prepared, and then sila na rin po at their own time ang mag-decide kung anong oras po nila gagawin yon at kung kailan po nila gagawin yon. Okay? So kung makikita po ninyo, dito po sa mga pictures ay iba-iba po yung mga situation na nandun ng mga estudyante. Merong nag-aaral ng nakaupo sa lapag, meron namang nakaupo sa upuan nila, okay, with the use of laptop. Others use their cell phones. But all of us were connected by Google Classroom app. So sa side naman ng estudyante, this is a learning anytime, anywhere. According to Wang, Chen, and Anderson in 2014, so interactions are reciprocal events that require at least 2 objects and 2 actions. Okay, so sabi ni Wagner yon in 1994, based dun sa pag-aaral ni Wang, ni Chen, at ni Anderson. So dito sa picture, makikita po ninyo, the teacher is asking something. So compare and contrast. So in return, yung student naman ay nag-explain using this phenomenon, maaaring ganun, ano, yung sinasagot niya, okay? So, there is a particular action, okay, that occurs between the two entities. Nagtanong yung isa naman po ay sumagot. So, interaction is associated to social constructivist learning and connectivism learning. When we say constructivist or social constructivism, dapat po collaborative work yan. No? Let me illustrate to you the 3 types of interaction. This is according to Dr. Michael Moore. So there are 3 types of interaction. There is a learner-to-content interaction. So there is also a learner-to-teacher interaction. And then there is also learner-to-student or learner-to-learner interaction. Okay? Dun sa bago natin ipagpatuloy yung ating discussion about sa 3 types of interaction, gusto ko muna kayong bigyan ng overview. Ano ba yung pinag-aralan nila? Okay, so meron ako ditong 3 column wherein I put the topic, the descriptions, and then the remarks. Sa topic, I put there an announcement because in Google Classroom, you can put different topics, no? Para at least naka-organize po yung iyong ituturo. I also included self-intro kasi ginagawa naman natin yan sa classroom usually when you do not know yet your student. And then about the online tutor. So sa loob ng classroom, nagpapakilala rin po ang teacher. So this time, nagpakilala po ako but I did not include any video. And then I also have the class resources. I also put the lesson introduction, lesson 1, 2, and 3. And then I also put a mini game. And then I also put a topic for reflection activity. I also included a sample portfolio. And then I also feature teachers. And then I also commend teacher achiever. And then I also put consultation hours. And then the FAQs, baka may tanong po sila because in online po, hindi mo naman kinakailangan sagutin lahat ng itatanong sa'yo ng estudyante 24/7. Then I also put e-lounge because all of the discussions here in academic discussion, meaning we use English. Automatically, we use English as a medium of instruction. While in the e-lounge, you can use Filipino para naman medyo ma-relax, okay? So as to description, ayan po yan, nakalagay po dyan kung ano po yung tungkol sa announcement and then tungkol sa intro, so lahat po yan ay nandyan. As to the 3rd column, we have here the remarks. So for the announcement, I use Google Form. For the introduction, I use text description. And then the other, I use picture. Dun sa iba po ay may PDF and video. Okay. So let us define the first interaction. So ito'y tinatawag na learner to content. Ang sabi ni Holmberg, 1996 referred to or considered as internal didactic conversation, where learners talk to themselves about the information and ideas they encounter according to Moore. So sabi ni Moore, ito daw yung tinatawag ni Holmberg na internal didactic conversation. Paano ba mangyayari yon? So I expose the teachers to different video wherein they can reflect. They can also use the different picture, the survey, the discussion forum, and then the reading materials. So, hindi ako naglalagay ng isang resource or learning object without justifying bakit ko yun nilagay. Hindi po dito yung gusto mo lang maglagay ng material. So, dapat ang material na ilalagay mo dito ay relevant. So, I put videos wherein they can understand different concepts in distance learning, associated in distance learning. I put videos wherein they can understand what active learning is or what is transactional distance. Okay? I also put different pictures when I used to give commendation to students who exhibit outstanding performance. And then I also use survey. And then as to discussion forum, I need to check if they understand the topic. So I ask a stimulating question, no? And then use the comment section for the discussion forum. I also give them reading materials. So meaning to say, may mababa po yung interaction ng teacher dito. Ako bilang teacher ay nagtuturo sa kanila sa pamamagitan ng mga materials na ito. That's why we call it learner to content. So, sa side naman ng learner, instead na si teacher ang magpapaliwanag, kapag pinanood niya yung video at makita niya yung concept na ipinapaliwanag doon, so masasabi niya sa sarili niya, magkakaroon siya ng tinatawag na metacognition at masasabi niya sa sarili niya, ganun pala. So that is what Holmberg means to internal didactic conversation. Okay? For the next, we have the learner to teacher. So sabi dito, this highlights teacher's social presence in form of discussion forum, kagaya nga na binanggit ko kanina, for the feedback or when teacher is presenting. Okay, kung video class man kunyari ito. Another, there is the manifestation of interaction when teacher provides counseling to a learner. Ayan, importante po yan. Either in print, kapag po tayo ay may inquire. In addition, Moore in 1989 also states that this interaction is evident when the instructor or the professor or the teacher counsels a group of students, or when he or she enters in a dialogue with the learner. Pagka sinabi natin when the teacher enters in a dialogue, for example, yung discussion forum, nagtatanong ang teacher, naglagay siya ng engaging question, and then learners are posting their reflection. Ganyan po yung ginagawa nyo ngayon, no? Dun sa ibang video na ating pinost. So makikita po ninyo after watching the video, post your reflection about positive use of ICT. No, hindi lang po tayo basta-basta magpo-post kasi itatanong ng mga estudyante o ng mga teacher, ano yung gagawin nila doon. So all your instructions are posted there. Hindi mo kinakailangan na mag-online everyday. Hindi mo kinakailangan na mag-video class kayo araw-araw. Alam niyo naman po kasi yung ating internet, minsan sumasabit-sabit yan. So you can talk through email, you can talk through the discussion forum, yan. The third type of interaction is the learner to learner. Sabi dito, this is an inter-learner interaction between one learner and other learners, alone or in a group settings, with or without the real-time presence of an instructor. Yan, totoo po yan, ano? The instructor, maaari ang instructor, hindi naman sinasabi talagang wala doon. Nandun yung instructor, ano? Maaari ang instructor ay nag-o-observe lang sa kung anong gagawin ng mga estudyante o ng mga teacher para doon sa ano na yan, particular activity. Okay? Pero ang pinaka-the best po ay pag nag-uusap po yung mga learner kasi sila po mismo ay natututo. Ano? For example, paano ba mangyayari yan? When you give a collaborative project, Okay, gawa kayo ng isang project na magpe-preserve ng ating environment. Gamit kayo ng ganitong tool, ganito po dapat ang nilalaman. So may mga rubrics na pinagbabatayan, ano? So doon nangyayari 'yon. Or dito naman po sa mga 6 na schools na ito ay wala naman po akong ipinagawang collaborative activity. Most of the activities that I gave them are purely individual, except for some 1 to 2 discussion forums wherein they are required or they were required to reply to their classmates' post. So mga ilan lang naman po yun. Pero most of the activities that I gave ay dun po sa number 1, yung sa first interaction, learner to content. So let us analyze the effect of interaction to learning using Anderson's interaction equivalency theorem. So kung si Moore, sabi niya may 3 type ng interaction, sabi naman po ni Anderson ay pwede pa raw itong ma-mix. Okay, tingnan po ninyo yung kanyang ginamit na illustration. So according to Terry Anderson, deep and meaningful formal learning is supported as long as one of the 3 forms of interaction, student to teacher, student to student, or student to content, is at high level. The other 2 may be offered at a minimal levels or even eliminated. So pwede daw po palang wala yung dalawa. So imagine kung yung isa lang daw po ang ating i-increase, okay? Maaari daw nating ma-achieve yung tinatawag na meaningful formal learning. Kahit isa lang daw po at minimal level lang daw po natin ilagay yung dalawa, no? And then without degrading the educational experience. So ibig sabihin kahit isa lang, ma-achieve natin yung tinatawag na quality learning. Okay, tingnan natin kung totoo nga yan. Okay. Tingnan po ninyo itong table na ito, no? So these are the different types of interactions. As mentioned a while ago, we have the learner content, learner teacher, learner to learner. And then ito po yung 6 na schools. So sa 6 na schools na yan, naglagay nga po ako ng mga content, kagaya nga ng binanggit ko, PDF, reading materials, video, ganyan. And then other materials that may support learning. So lahat po ng yon sa dami ng nilagay ko, kaya nilagay ko high. So, ibig sabihin lahat po ng mga topics and lessons ay mayroon. So, kagaya rin ng binanggit ko kanina, 2 lang po yung binigyan ko ng learner to teacher. Sa 2 school lang po ako nakikipag-interact, pero minimal pa yon. Pag may question sila, sinasagot ko. And then, kapag naman po hindi ko, parang obvious naman yung tanong, hindi ko po yun sinasagot. Talagang ginagawa ko po na hindi talaga ako sumasagot kasi ino-observe ko ano po yung gagawin nila. And then, as to learner nga, gaya rin ang binanggit ko kanina, minimal lang din yon, no? Pero lahat ng iyon, as instructed, lahat po sila ay sasagot, no? Pero commonly, dun sila nakikipag-interact sa tinatawag nating resources, no? Class resources and other materials that I posted. Okay. So ano ba yung thinking nila? When during the synchronous or video class, yun na po yung araw na nag-meet kami after, by the way, yun pong class na ginawa namin doon sa Google Classroom ay ginawa namin yon ng 3 to 5 days. So, nandun sila, 3 to 5 days sila or 1 week, no? Pinakamahaba na po yung 1 week kung saan inaaral nila yung laman po ng Google Classroom or yung mga lessons na prepared for them to understand the concept or the different concept about distance learning. So, during our video class, ito po, pangalawa na nga, hindi ko nakuha yung una. But ito yung lumabas, I asked them to describe what they experience or describe the EPD pre-activity in 1 word. So makikita nyo naman, sinabi nila dyan na the EPD is very challenging or challenging. Kasi yan yung isa sa mga malalaking words. It is also informative, interesting, exciting, engaging. So hanggang mababasa nyo pa po, innovative, new. Okay? So imagine that wala akong ginawang video class with them. Sila lang pong nag-interact doon sa mga learning materials na inilagay ko doon. And yet they consider the activity, the session, challenging. Kaya nga siya pre-activity, hindi pa po kami nagkikita. Okay? So, nagbigay po ko ng, by the way, 59 ang sumagot. Okay, nag-participate during the live survey. Okay. Nung tinanong ko naman po sila, dito 72 naman po ang sumagot. Anong nag-motivate? Kasi na-curious ako, bakit nila tinapos, no? Pwede naman nilang hindi tapusin. Okay? Kasi hindi naman yung graded. Pero bakit nila tinapos? So, ang pinakamalaki dyan, sabi nila, the lesson is interesting. Imagine that, I never talk, I never meet them, but they consider the lesson interesting. And then second, may mga sumagot na dahil daw po sa encouragement ng school head, and then minimal po o makukunti lang yung nagsabing may reward silang makukuha. So that means hindi sila nakatingin dun sa reward, pero sila po ay na-encourage tapusin ng lesson because the lesson is very interesting. Okay, so yan po yung sagot nung second group of teachers. Okay, ito naman yung third, pareho din, informative, challenging, interesting, exciting, and then innovative, mind-blowing, useful. So yan po yung mga term nila. Sila po ang nagbibigay niyan ha, hindi po ako. Okay. Pero ito, konti lang yung nakapag-participate kasi late ko na po itong nai-administer sa kanila. But, just the same, tignan po ninyo yung bilang, the lesson is interesting. Yun pa rin po yung lumalabas. Ano po? Okay. So, dahil dito, inisip ko na i-organize ko kung para mas makakuha ako ng perception, no? Makita ko yung perception ng teacher, bakit ba nila tinatapos yan at ano ba yung tingin nila dun sa kanilang EPD activity na pinasukan or ginawa, ano? So, nag-create ako ng mga choices for them so that I would know kung ano ba yung pagtingin nila dyan. Okay. So, ito po, 3 schools na lang po yung na-administer natin ito. No? Yung D, E, and F. So, gumamit po ako ng Google form para makita natin ang teacher's perception dito. No? Okay. So, I asked them, what made you say that you learned something from the e-classroom? So, ito po yung bilang ng mga sumagot. Sa D, we have 74, sa E, 33, sa F, 85. So, sabi nung ang mga choices po ay, I understand new concept. So, kitang-kita naman natin, nandito yung may pinakamaraming bilang. So, 31 out of 74. And then, the idea is clearer than before. So, ganun pa rin, 17, and then 6 naman sa isa, 17 sa isa. The e-classroom serves as a simulator. Kung ano raw po yung mangyayari sa atin sa October 5. Okay, yun daw po yung actual na naranasan nila. Okay, dahil nag-simulate, Okay, so, 28 out of 74 said, or according to their perception, it is a simulator. And then, doon naman po sa letter E, 6 ang nagsabing ganon, kasi kukunti lang po yung naging respondent natin dyan, 30%. And then, doon naman po sa letter F, 28 naman pong nagsabi na ganon din ang kanilang paniniwala. Okay? So, sabi naman ng iba, because of the PD pre-activity, they were able to interact with other classmates or fellow teachers. So, 8 yung naglagay ng, 8 yung sa letter D, 8 yung nagsabi ng ganon. Sa letter E, 1. Sa letter F ay 8 rin. But, ito po yung hindi ko alam kung ano po ang reason. Sabi nila, sa lahat nung, sa 3 remaining na school ay nagsabi na, I did not learn at all. I don't know the reason, probably kapag gagawa namin ito ng continuous improvement, magiging interesting ako, bakit hindi sila natuto. Okay, so kung gagawa natin yan ng mga upcoming research, dyan ako magpo-focus. Next, about teacher's perception, ito nga yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, wala naman talaga akong interaction sa kanila except for the resources. In the absence of interaction from the teacher, do you feel isolated? So, yes or no lang naman ang sagot, no? Ang sabi nung 17, mas kukunti yung nagsasabi ng yes. At mas marami yung nagsasabi ng no. So, ano kaya sa palagay nyo ang reason ba't ganon? Do you think mas sila, yung tinatawag natin na ito yung mas gusto nila yung ganitong klase, innovative type of teaching and learning, no? Kasi mas dito sila bihasa. So, ibig sabihin, kung ang mga teachers ay hindi nakaka-feel ng isolation, ito yung parang malungkot ka dahil nag-iisa ka lang. Wala kang kasama, di ba? Dahil mag-isa ka nag-aaral. Yung teacher mo naman ay mag-isa mo lang din kinakausap. Yung kaklase mo, kukontakin mo pa bago mo yan makausap, okay? Pero none of them, okay, or kukonti lang yun sa kanila ang nagsabi na sila ay nakaka-feel ng isolation. Pero mas marami po yung hindi nakaka-feel ng ganon. Because probably, na-maintain natin or na-sustain natin yung motivation. Okay, next. Teacher's perception. How would you describe your experience in the e-classroom? So, yun nga po yung kaninang, kagaya nung kaninang una nating itinanong. So, marami nagsabi, informative, challenging, ayun daw, pinakamaraming bilang challenging. Okay, sa D, challenging ang may pinakamarami, sinundan ito ng interesting, and then informative and relevant. Sa E naman po, 21 ang nagsabi ng challenging pa rin, ano? And then, sinundan ito ng informative, interesting, and relevant. And then sa F, 48 ang nagsabing challenging. Okay? So, ganito rin kaya yung mafe-feel ng ating mga estudyante pagdating po ng October 5. Okay, malalaman natin yan, ano? And then next, teacher's perception, what motivates you to finish the e-classroom activity? So, the lesson is interesting. I enjoyed the interaction in the e-classroom. So, yan po yung mga iba-ibang reasons, no? Pero, ang nangunguna po ay dalawang choice, ano? Interesting at na-enjoy nilang talaga yung mga interaction na mayroon doon. So, ibig sabihin, kung ito ay lalagyan natin ng conclusion, pwede kaya na kahit hindi magsalita ang guro, basta ang mga activity na ipinrepare natin sa kanila ay interesting at nakaka-sustain ng kanilang motivation ay matatapos nila, no, ng masaya at exciting yung kanilang pag-aaral. Okay? So, kasi kung konti lang naman nagsabi na na-encourage sila dahil doon sa sinabi ng school head para tapusin at hindi rin naman sila nakatingin sa e-certificate. So, that means kapag nakuha mo ang interest ng mga bata o ang interest ng mga learners mo, dun pa lang sa mga materials, you can increase, no, yung learner to content interaction. So that type of interaction. Okay, another. Teacher's perception, what prevented you to finish? Ito naman po yung bakit yung iba hindi nila natapos. Meron po kasi hindi nakatapos, no? So sabi niya, I have a problem with time management. Ganyan po talaga sa una. Kapag bago pa lang po tayo sa online, makaka-feel po tayo na ang dami-dami nating ginagawa. No? Ang sikreto sa online teaching as well as online learning ay management, time management. So kinakailangan ibigay natin ahead of time ang mga gagawin. That's why dun sa ginawa kong topic para sa mga teachers, hindi ko yun in-schedule, inilabas ko yung lahat. I gave freedom to the teachers so that they can skip from one topic to another or they can jump from one topic to another and then they can learn the lessons in advance. Kasi nakita ko mas okay dahil mas nagpa-participate sila. Although nasa teacher pa rin o control pa rin ng teacher kung kailan niya yun ilalabas, ano, kung depende po sa tawag ng ating instruction. And then, sabi naman ng iba, yung ability nila to communicate or express themselves ay naghihinder para hindi po sila mag-participate. For example, 330 yon, meron ka makikita na 200 plus na hindi nagbibigay o masyado sigurong mahirap yung tanong, baka hindi nila masyadong masagot or nahihiya sila na mag-compose ng kanilang sagot, no, reflection. Kasi makikita ng ibang at siguro iba conscious sa grammar, ganyan, and then conscious naman yung iba sa thought, baka hindi nila masyadong naintindihan, kaya ganon, ano. And then there are other teachers who said that they felt inferiority, no, when it comes to expressing their thoughts clearly. Pero dun sa letter E, hindi naman. So palaban yung mga teachers na yan, ano. I am participating but at a lower pace. O yan, kasi bago. Hindi ko naman sila tinrain sa paggamit ng Google Classroom, no? They learned by their own, hindi ako nagturo. Kaya siguro isang factor din yun, bakit medyo mabagal sila, paano ito turn in kung may assignment, paano i-click ang mga link, mga ganyan, ano? And then, siguro ito, part pa rin nung kanina, no? Yung sinabi lang hindi sila natuto, kasi some of them said that I don't care at all. Okay, very interesting yan, no? That is interesting to me. Okay. But according to Technology 1, 2, and 3, of McDonald's and Gibbons in 2007, sabi nila or sinasuggest nila na hindi lang sapat bigyan ng tool or device or hindi lang sapat magbigay ng tool or device, no, when we are conducting or when we are incorporating a technology in education setting. At hindi rin sapat ang mga strategies kagaya nito, yung TPAC framework, hindi rin yan sapat. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, they are suggesting that unless your observation, kagaya ng ginagawa ko, at continuously incorporated or embedded in an education setting. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang dahil ito ay una, kaya natin in-administer at nakita natin ganun yung sagot nila. Dapat ito ay nasusundan pa. At sundan pa ulit natin nung una, binigyan natin sila ng tool, gamit ng Google Classroom, gaano ka-effective. And then yung interaction, nilagay natin. And then we have to continuously observe them kung ito ay naging effective, if they can apply it to the class, and then if they continuously apply it, dahil since ito po ay acquired knowledge and skills. So, yun papasok ang attitude and values. So, ulitin ko lang po, hindi sapat na minsanan lang natin siya gawin. Hindi, gawin natin ito by applying technology tree or unified and dynamic as a whole, no? Yung ating in-apply na strategy. Okay. And that's all. Thank you.